It's a hard knock life for us. That's out of Annie in it, I think it is.
Stay tuned for more details of the Phillips and Red Rose Radio Roadshow.
Moving sound.
It's actually a second-hand double-decker bus, and I shall be on it at the Pleasure Beach, Blackpool. That's what they call the fairground in Blackpool, the Pleasure Beach. Not a beach at all. Anyway, the fairground in Blackpool. I shall be there with the Phillips bus, the moving sound roadshow, as they say. If you think about it, you can't actually have stationary sound, because if it was stationary, it wouldn't be making a noise, because sound is actually the vibrations of the air and things, you know. Well, somebody's got to educate you. Your teachers have obviously failed. But we all know about teachers, don't we? Anyway, the lines are open. We'll be taking our first call after the news, assuming I'm still alive, on Preston 561,000. Our Rod will no doubt find time to answer the phone, eventually, but I've got my doubts. And he'll then take your number and ring you back. Then you'll be put through to me, and then you'll be cut off, because that's how the programme works. It's a strange hobby, but we all must pay our respects and pass our days somehow. Anyway, if you're wondering what it is that all this abomination is on, then it's on the radio, as you may have gleaned by looking at the little box in the corner. I shall be back with you in about 3.5 minutes.
The 11 o'clock news, this is Alan King. Actress Joan Collins has won her bitter divorce battle with fourth husband Peter Home and is now vowing, "I'll never, never, never marry again." The Dynasty star leapt into the air as a Los Angeles judge ruled that she wouldn't have to pay Swedish businessman Home any more money. Home, described by Miss Collins' celebrity lawyer Marvin Mitchelson as a greedy, grasping man, will now not be entitled to half of his estranged wife's fortune. From Los Angeles, Ian Brodie.
Joan Collins hugged her lawyer and shouted, "I'm never going to get married again," after hearing that the private agreement she signed with Peter Home is valid. The 40-year-old Swede stood to gain up to £2 million if the decision had gone the other way. Now he will get nothing once the divorce is final. Joan's last comment, "I'm knackered. I'm going to sit by the pool." Ian Brodie, IRN, Los Angeles.
The government is ordering a safety clampdown on ferries following the report into the Zeebrugge disaster, which blames the ship's officers and management for the deaths of nearly 200 people last March. Transport Secretary Paul Channon says it'll now be a criminal offence for vessels to leave port with their bow doors open. This was the major cause of the disaster, pinpointed by Inquiry Chairman Mr Justice Sheen. But he also slammed the ship's captain, chief officer and assistant boatswain for negligence, and the management and operators, Townsend Torreson, for being sloppy and irresponsible. Former seaman and Labour frontbench spokesman John Prescott says the Herald's crewmen are being made the scapegoats of a whitewash inquiry that's glossed over the guilt of the real culprits.
What worries me most of all is that an agreement was arrived at that the company wouldn't be prosecuted if it cooperated with the inquiry. Why didn't they offer that to the crew members then? No such offer. They're the ones that carry the can. Nothing changes. The people at the top get away with it, and it's the ordinary working man, the seaman and the officer, that carries the can.
Geoffrey Archer has arrived back at his family home near Cambridge after his courtroom triumph over the Daily Star. The former deputy Tory party chairman arrived at the old vicarage in the village of Grantchester, together with his wife Mary, who was at his side throughout the 2-week libel action. Best-selling novelist Mr Archer said he wasn't taking a holiday to celebrate netting £500,000 in damages, but planned to start work on staging his first play. An abattoir worker from South Wales has been jailed for kicking an opponent in the face during a violent rugby cup game. Peter Solomons reports.
26-year-old Llanabother fullback Andrew Wilson was jailed for 6 months for deliberately kicking opposing forward Terry Piles in a cup game last November. Piles, who plays for Kimlo, was off work for 8 weeks with a fractured cheekbone. The game had been a catalogue of violence. 2 players had been sent off and the match abandoned after 50 minutes after a number of punch-ups. The judge, Mr Justice Rougier, said it had been a disgrace to the game of rugby union. He said violence on the rugby field was becoming a disease. Peter Solomons, IRN, South Wales.
Independent Radio News.
Please listen to my ditty. It may not be very witty, nor even slightly funny, but it will help save you money. For me, from cradle to grave, I aim to shop and save. I buy out I need, for next to nought indeed. There's meat and veg and cheese and pigs and booze and clothes and cards and sweets and pigs and pet food and household things. So shop and save a load down Blackpool's Waterloo Road. In the market they call New, and Overt Road the M2. Thank you. Poetry in prices from the New Market and M2 Market.
It's the place to come, where shopping can be fun. The Newmarket Waterloo Road.
Times is hard. We're a bit behind the door tonight, getting ready for all sorts of reasons, but don't worry, we'll sort it. We'll sort it!
Ian Stringer here, sales manager, John Wilding's Garstang, inviting you to our Ford Open Weekend this Saturday and Sunday. We'll be displaying the Ford range, including limited model editions with styling and extras. Enjoy a glass of wine with our compliments and enter our free competition. Pick up written details on low finance selected models too. This weekend, John Wilding's on the A6 Garstang.
When you think about cars, it pays to think of John Wilding. John Wilding!
How do to our first caller this evening, who labours under the name of Mandy. You say Mandy and not Bandy, didn't it? How do, Mandy?
Hello, Allan Beswick. Last night you stated that you were racist. Allow me to prove that you have contradicted yourself, and by doing so, you are, for want of a better word, Beswicked. 3 nights previously, you stated, the only thing I can think of in my country that I am not proud of are racist filth. They make me want to puke.
That doesn't mean that I'm not one of them. And what well, hold on a minute. Hold on. Mandy, listen to what you're saying. I have said last evening that I am a racist.
Yes.
Now, in order for there to be a proven contradiction, you would have to find some statement somewhere else that says, I am not a racist.
Well, you said they make you want to puke.
Would you agree with that? Well, they may well make me want to puke.
Well, yourself makes you want to puke.
That is perfectly possible.
Well, then you have been Beswicked.
No, I've not been No, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mandy. You said you were going to prove a contradiction.
That is a contradiction.
You have some difficulty with the language, it would appear. It is not.
No, contradiction is to be contrary to state facts or conditions which are just the opposite. That is the opposite.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. To say they make you want to puke and then to say you are one is the opposite.
No, it isn't.
Well, yourself makes you want to puke.
Yes, I've answered that. Listen, in order for you to prove that there has been a contradiction, you need to prove that I have said something and then said something else, and those two statements mean the opposite. Now, because racist filth, and remember, I didn't say it was racists that made me want to puke, but racist filth, but that's splitting hairs. What I didn't say
was pedantic.
Well, being pedantic is what you have to be when someone is attempting to prove a contradiction and, in all honesty, failing miserably.
I'm not failing. You said they make you want to spew racist
What did
filth.
I say made me want to spew?
Racist filth.
And what did I say I was?
You said you was a racist.
Did I say I was racist filth?
You said you was racist.
Did I say I was racist filth? It's a simple question. It requires a very short answer of either 3 letters or 2. Did I say I was racist?
You didn't say filth after the word racist.
Listen, excuse me. If I say I am a blue elephant, is that the same as saying I'm a blue tree?
Not if you say you're an elephant.
Listen to the question, please. If I say I'm a blue elephant, is it the same as saying I'm a blue tree?
No.
So, unless I put the noun with the adjective will have to stand as a noun, will it not? Will it not?
Yes.
So if I say I dislike racist filth, and then say I am a racist,
well, what are you then? You're racist.
Listen carefully, please, because your education
go on.
Your education is sadly lacking, and we're doing our utmost to correct it at this moment.
We are. I thought there was only you there.
No, we, the team running this programme, are responsible at this moment for your education, and as you're well aware, there is not only me here, indeed I'm the second person you've spoken to at this radio station this evening, is that correct? So I know already that there's not only me here, and you already know that.
Yes.
Which just proves once again how lax you are with facts. but never mind that. Let us come
I was only
back.
speaking to one person on the phone at this present moment.
At this present moment, you were speaking to me, but you're addressing about 100,000, or 7, if you believe what you read in the paper. However, let us stay where we are and deal with the problem you've brought up, to use an unfortunate term when we're talking about spewing. But anyway, I have described myself as a racist and said that I do not like racist filth. Now, myself as a racist is a noun, but racist filth, the word racist there, describes the filth. It says, of all the filth in the world, the filth that makes me puke is racist filth.
But to be racist, you described the word racist as filth.
No, I didn't.
Proud of.
No, I didn't. No, I
racist.
didn't describe the word racist as filth.
Filth.
No, I described the filth to which I was referring as racist filth, as opposed to sexist filth.
Was you in that term meaning that anyone who is racist is filth?
No, that is not so. That is not what the term means.
Oh, you said afterwards.
No, that is not what the term
Well,
means.
it sounded
If
to
I
me.
say
Because
there,
you said
if
they
I
make
s-
me
listen,
want to
listen,
spew.
listen carefully.
You said they
listen
make me want
carefully.
to spew.
Listen carefully. If I say
You said,
listen
excuse me, you're
carefully,
interrupting me.
I am interrupting you in order to shut you up. I won't be able to
Well,
shut
I
you
have
up.
to interrupt you in
Well, you
order to
can't,
shut
so
you
you
up.
might as well stop, because I have the controls. So you might as well just listen.
Okay.
Now, if I say over there is a blue elephant, does that mean every time I say the word blue, I will mean elephant?
No, but
No.
every time
So
you
if
say
I say
elephant,
over-
I
so
don't
over there-
necessarily think it's blue.
No, indeed, that is so. So
Yeah,
in other
so
words,
racist.
so in other words,
But you are
listen,
racist.
you silly cow. In other words, the word blue in that statement does not describe anything other than the particular
If I'm
kind.
a cow,
Listen,
you're
you
a
silly
doghead.
cow.
You're a doghead.
Yes, this may well be so. Are you going to listen or not?
Go on then.
No, I've asked you a question. Would you like to answer it?
Yeah.
You are going to listen, or yes, you want
Yes,
to
I will
answer
listen
it?
to
Then
you
do
now.
so. It's very difficult for one of your low intellect to listen when
haven't
you're.
got a low
Shut
intellect,
up! You
Alan.
said you were listening.
Or else we'll be
Remember?
arguing
Did you
with
remember when you were listening?
Yes.
Have you forgotten now?
I haven't forgotten anything.
Have you just decided to change your mind?
No.
No. So you are going to listen.
Yes.
Then do it silently.
I will.
From now on, if you speak again before I give you permission, you've gone.
Yes.
You spoke. I'll do line 6. Kathleen.
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
I'm thinking about nuclear weapons. Even though I don't really believe in them, it frightens me the thought that we might be left defenceless. What do you think?
Well, you haven't really made a statement for me to challenge or even consider. It frightens everybody that we might be left defenceless, but who says removing nuclear weapons will leave us defenceless?
Well, what other defence would there be against big powers?
Well, let me ask you straight away. Do you think we should have an army?
An army?
Army, you know, them little men in the khaki suits
Yeah, I
walk
know what you
about, all
mean.
the legs going at the same time.
Yeah, I do
Yes.
know what you mean.
You think we should have an army?
No, not really, no.
Do away with the army?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think we should have a navy?
No.
They're the ones in the blue drive the boats.
No.
What about the ones in the aeroplanes?
I suppose that really I'm talking about a perfect world, aren't I?
I've no idea what you're talking about. I was beginning to wonder whether you did. But do you think we should have an air force?
No.
No. So we shouldn't have an army, we shouldn't have an air force, we shouldn't have a navy. Who's going to fire the bloody bombs?
The other people.
What other people? You?
No, I mean the other countries.
Oh, the other countries?
Yeah.
So you're perfectly happy for us to have no army, no air force, no navy, and no one to fire our own nuclear bomb?
No, if it was all agreed, I mean.
If all what was agreed? I asked you a question. I said, do you think we should have an army? You said no. Do you mean yes?
I suppose I do, yeah.
So yes means no. So every time I ask you a question, if you say yes, you mean no, and if you say no, you mean yes.
Oh, all right, Alan. I'll give in.
You might as well.
Okay.
How do? Bernard.
Right, Al. I want to talk about driving offences.
Is there something in particular preventing you?
Pardon?
Granted. Is there something in particular preventing you from talking about driving offences?
No,
Well, you said you wanted to, and then you didn't bother.
yeah, I know.
Well, do you still want to?
Yeah.
Good.
I had a car, and police stopped me, right? I weren't actually in the car.
Don't say right.
Right.
No, don't say right.
And they didn't catch me in car. And they charged me for driving it.
When you said they stopped you in the car, but
Yeah.
they didn't catch you in the car.
No, I wasn't driving it.
Well, how did they stop you in the car?
No, it was in a garage.
Oh, well, when you said you were stopped in the car, did you mean you weren't stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, why did you say you were? It's a strange thing to do, really. The police stopped me in my car, but I wasn't in my car. I may be thick, but it doesn't seem to add up. Anyway, so you were stopped not in your car, but in it, and the police stopped you whilst you were going.
No, I wasn't.
And they caught you, but they didn't catch you.
No, I was in the car, but it wasn't actually moving.
Oh, I see. So they did catch you in your car.
Yeah.
And it was stationary, but they didn't stop you because you don't have to stop stomach that stopped, do you?
No.
No, except a gobstopper that's rolling. You have to stop that, and that stopped, of course. However, go on. You sat in your car waiting for the police.
No, I weren't waiting for them.
What were you waiting for? Obviously not a bus, as you wouldn't have a car.
I was putting a radio in it.
You were putting a radio into your car?
Yeah.
I see.
And they come up and they said that I'd been driving the car. Now, neighbours had reported me. And, well, when the police come, I was underage then.
You were sat in this car?
Yeah.
Presumably on the public highway?
No.
Not on the public highway?
No.
So you were sat in this car?
Yeah.
Where was the car?
In the garage. Outside the garage.
Well, it's either in or out.
Outside.
So far, we've had you stopping and going, driving and not driving, and in and out the garage. We're going to have trouble with this one, aren't we? So you're outside the garage?
Yeah.
And the land that you were on, outside this garage, was it free for other people to drive onto that land if they so desired?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've also established that you were on the public highway, but you weren't. But let me tell you that on the balance of facts, you were. So you're on the public highway, in and out your garage, stopping and going in your car, not driving it, being chased by the police. Right. So I've got that far. Putting a radio in.
Yeah.
So what did they say when they didn't stop you because you weren't going already on the private land that was public when you were sat there driving your car, not going, being chased, but not caught because you weren't going anyway?
Well,
what did they say?
They charged me with driving the car, and they didn't...
No. I asked you, what did they say?
Well, they said they were charging me for driving the car.
Didn't they say, good morning, sir?
No.
Didn't even say that. Just walked up and said, we're charging you, we're driving this car.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
No.
Not a thing at all, like, is this your car, sir?
No.
How old are you, sir?
Well...
Can we see your driving licence, sir?
They asked all that after.
Oh, after. So the first thing they said was, we're charging you, we're driving this car.
Yeah.
That's a strange thing for them to say, isn't it? Because as they arrive there, they, at that moment, have no evidence to suspect, or no reason to suspect, that even if you were driving the car, you were not supposed to be. Had they?
Well,
Had they?
No.
No. So the police were notified by your neighbours that you'd been driving the car.
Yeah.
I see. And they arrived at your garage that you were outside of, stopped in the car, fitting a radio, and said, you've been driving this car.
Yeah.
And you said?
All I want to know is...
and you said?
Well, I said, what do you mean I've been driving this car?
Well, it's a difficult question, isn't it? You're bound to question the meaning of it. I mean, it's really tricky, that one. What did they say when you asked them what they meant? Did they explain, sitting behind the wheel, feet on them little pedals on the floor, holding that round bit, and moving along the road?
They said a few neighbours have complained.
Complained that you were driving the car?
Yeah.
So then what did you say?
I said, well, I haven't been driving it. It's been here all the time. I've just been putting this radio in.
All the time. How did it get there? Wasn't built there, was it?
No.
No, how did it get there?
It was towed there.
Towed?
Yeah.
Well, it can't have been towed there. That's the car that towed it. It'd be in the garage, wouldn't it? If it was up against the garage doors, the car that towed it would have to be in the garage.
It had been in the garage before.
So it was towed out the garage? It was towed out the garage?
No, it was pushed out the garage.
Pushed? Oh, I see. So when it was towed, where was it towed to? Because we've now established that it was towed there, but in fact it wasn't towed there, it was pushed there out the garage.
No, it was towed from another garage to the garage that I got stopped in.
You weren't in it, he said.
In where?
The garage.
I didn't say I was in it then.
You did, you said the garage you got stopped in.
Well, stopped at.
Stopped at? Oh, I see, because you said in, and in means in, as opposed to out, which is what you were, but you were at as well. So, have you ever driven the car?
I have, yeah.
Well, what are you whinging about then, you garmless prat? Plead guilty. What a givey.
Have you got a Red Rose Radio 7-Up car sticker in your car? If not, get one now, as we're giving away £5 a day, Monday to Friday, throughout July, August and September to owners of cars seen with one of these stickers. To get your car sticker, send a stamped addressed envelope to Red Rose Radio Promotions, P.O. Box 301 Preston, and tune into Red Rose Radio to see if your car's been spotted. This promotion is run in association with Red Rose Kitchens of Moorebrook Street, Preston.
this is it. The best place to go. The Coach House Diner is the one you'll want to know. Yeah, this is
Steaks, chicken, fish, salads, pizzas, pasta, sandwiches for scrumptious lunch or dinner. Call in the Coach House Diner in Lytham. 5 different eating areas and 2 exciting bars. Plenty of room for everybody. The Coach House Diner, opposite the Green on Henry Street, Lytham.
the Coach House Diner. This is it.
Lucas Levers, you're number one. The box all open, we're second to none. Lucas Levers, just give us a phone on Blackburn 5191.
Lucas Levers for everything you'll ever need in Vauxhall Opel. We're one of the oldest established dealers in the area, yet we're bang up to date when it comes to giving you what you want on 4 wheels. Lucas J&S Lever of Blackburn. Call 51191.
Lucas Levers, we're your number one.
How do Gary?
Hello, Alan. How is it before your phone and you say, when you ring up, give Rod your phone number and they'll ring you back, but sometimes I can ring up and I'll just go straight through.
Mind your own business. I'll do to another Gary.
Hello, Alan?
Yep.
I want to ask you a question. What happens to athletics when records become impossible to break?
What happens what?
When world records become impossible to break in athletics?
Well, they'll stay there.
Well, you can't run a race in 1 second, can you?
I've actually pondered that when I was younger, and I suppose ultimately, if we draw a graph representing speeds of running, then there's no practical or physical reason to say that we won't be able to run 100 yards in 1 second.
Okay, then you can't
Because there was a time when no one in the world could run a mile in 4 minutes. But now they can, they're all doing it. So I presume that there'll come a time when they can all do it in 3 minutes 50 seconds. And then there'll come a time when they can all do it in 3 minutes 40 seconds. And it doesn't take a great leap of the imagination to say that perhaps one day they will be able to do it in 40 seconds. I doubt very much that you and me will be here.
Oh, I don't think so, but...
Well, obviously you don't think so, if you want to bother drinking. But if they don't, then what will happen to the record is it'll stay there. Rather like it'll stay there now. We may well have already reached the optimum. We may well never break another record.
Well, there won't be any point in athletics, really, then, will there?
Well, how much point is there now, all running round in a circle?
Oh.
Well, how much point is there? There'll be the same point then that there is now. I can't honestly see a point running round, and hurdles really leave me cold. Running round, jumping over a few sticks, don't see the sense in that. But somebody enjoys it, David Emery, but look what happened to him. So, that's it really, isn't it?
Yeah, well...
So when the record reaches a level at which it cannot ever be broken, it'll stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Really tough on that. I don't know how I managed. How do Andrew?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. I was watching Wogan tonight, and John Selwyn Gummer was on it, and he was witching on about religion. And several times he used this phrase, God's love for us. He kept talking about immense love and all this nonsense. And that got me very irritated. I'm a philosophy student, and I've done a lot on God. And the fact is that if he really did love us, then the world would be a very happy place for most people. Obviously, we see the fact isn't like that. Most people in the world...
Well, explain. We understand the process of your evidence, or the way you're explaining your evidence. Tell us what makes you think that if God did love us, that would happen.
Well, obviously, I'm only going on what the Christians
I don't
tell
really
us.
care what your excuse or reasons for the view is. Tell us why
tell me what
you
you want to
hold...
know again.
Well, just tell me what you want to know. Yeah. God loves us, doesn't love us. Why do you say that if God loved us, we'd all be happier?
Yeah. Well, if God loved us, we'd all be happier because...
Yeah, you've told me that. I want.
Yeah,
because good. The because has arrived. Go on.
Good. Because God is perfectly good, which means that wherever possible, he'll always do his utmost to make things good for us.
Well, yes, that is absolutely so.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a philosophy student would have no difficulty in understanding that sometimes one has to do something that is, if you like, painful in the short term for benefit in the long term.
Yes, but you're forgetting one thing.
I'm not forgetting anything. I've merely made a very simple statement. Go on, what have I
You
forgotten?
can't forget it, you just didn't know it. the thing is, that's true, very true, what you say about often one does have to do, evil things to get the best possible result in the end. But you see, God isn't just anybody. He's God. He's omnipotent. He can do anything he likes. He doesn't have to use means to an end or any of that. He can just do it, snap his fingers and it'll happen.
Yes, he can, but he also is omnipotent and therefore could be aware of something that you're not aware. I find that hard to believe, such a demanding, intelligent person as yourself, but it is possible that God knows something you don't.
Oh, yeah.
And so he may well know that the best thing for the individual is to suffer a little anguish in this very short microsecond of life in order to earn the satisfaction of earning eternal bliss.
Well, I don't really see how that follows.
Well, you don't have to see it. You're not God.
That's true.
You see, you're only an excuse for a human.
Yeah.
Whereas God can have knowledge that you've not got.
Oh, I'm sure he does. In fact, he knows
Indeed,
everything. To be
our dog's probably got knowledge that you've not got. Then again, he's certainly got knowledge I've not got. And I've not got a dog.
You don't have a dog? Well, I do, but I hate her guts.
Well, that's not very nice, is it?
No, but she's a real pain.
Oh, well, why have you still got it then? Have you not got half a crown for the vet?
Oh, well, no.
Get it put down for crying out loud.
Well, we
Don't
wanted a
bother.
nice family dog, but we were advised not to get a Welsh Springer Spaniel. So my dad went out and bought a Welsh Springer Spaniel, and it really does spring.
Oh.
And, it does lots of other things as well. Unfortunately, they live for 15 years. So we've only had her 2, so she's going to be around for an awful long time.
Yeah, we'll have a word with the God that's not there, see if he can take her back.
The God that's not there, you're an atheist too.
I'm not an atheist 2 or even an atheist 1. It was your God I was referring to, and your God is no God.
Yeah. But I was just so irritated watching John Selwyn Gummer so smug, and he's
Well, it's very easy to get irritated watching John Selwyn Gummer.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have to say anything. He just sit there looking at him and think, well, I'm irritated already.
Well, no, he came across quite well. I mean, he made the audience laugh a lot. He was quite nice.
Well, yeah, but that was when he walked on.
It was when he walked on. They weren't laughing at his pity. No, he was quite amusing, but...
I'm glad to hear it.
He wasn't talking about politics, which is probably why, he came across as a real person for a change. And not
Well, yeah, but he didn't know it about politics. That's why he lost his job. Anyway, thank you for your call. I've been riveted. Absolutely riveted. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. It's 11:30.
Win £50, £20, £15 each week at the Newmarket and M2 Market, Waterloo Road, Blackpool.
Skipper of Burnley, the best of service. Skipper of Burnley, you on the road. Skipper of Burnley, the family business. Skipper of Burnley for Ford.
There's a massive selection of quality guaranteed used cars and light commercial vehicles right now at Skipper. Okay, so a new car might be out of your reach, but with the backing of Skipper, you'll find a quality used vehicle you can really depend on at the right price. Skipper, Eastern Avenue, Burnley 25991.
Skipper of Burnley for Ford.
Bring the family to Gisborne's massive open-air market this Sunday. There's hundreds of stalls packed with bargains and free car parking too. At Gisborne's bumper open-air market, the Cattle Market Gisborne, this Sunday from 9 till 5.
Have you got a Red Rose Radio 7-Up car sticker in your car? If not, get one now as we're giving away £5 a day, Monday to Friday throughout July, August and September to owners of cars seen with one of these stickers. To get your car sticker, send a stamped addressed envelope to Red Rose Radio Promotions, P.O. Box 301 Preston, and tune into Red Rose Radio to see if your car's been spotted. This promotion is run in association with Red Rose Kitchens of Moorbrook Street, Preston.
If you want to join us, the telephone number is Preston 561,000. The lines are all engaged at the moment. We'll very shortly be talking to Shirley and Peter and Andrew and Stuart. But first of all, we're going to have a little tune. I know this is not the norm, but you'll have to put up with it. Back to the lines, hopefully to talk to Gary. How do, Gary? No, it's not. We shall talk to Andrew.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Alan. You know when you go to court?
Yes.
Yeah, because I've committed. I found a friend's broken into someone's house, right, and stole a video on the telly, and the police called me, right, and they said that